Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm just here to talk about my daughter Quinn and how the VIPS program has really helped her with her vision. She is turning 1 in just a couple of weeks. So she was born December 9th, 2021. After a perfectly healthy and normal full-term pregnancy, Quinn was born with her tube wrapped around her neck. And unfortunately, she was not breathing at the time that she was born and had to be airlifted to Commerce Children's Hospital in Chicago, where she spent 50 days recovering from losing oxygen at birth. During her time in the NICU, she had to learn how to breathe, learn how to eat, and pretty early on, I started to have concerns about her vision. She wasn't tracking, she wasn't really focusing on anything in particular. Her eyes would open and they would move, but I couldn't really get her to look at me. At the time I had expressed my concerns, she was looked at from an eye doctor who said that her eyes looked great, and that some babies just don't see that early. Something in me still told me that, that something was wrong. So when she was discharged, she was almost 2 months old. We were set up with First Steps through Indiana to get some therapy to come to our house and help her. So she has occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and she was set up with vision therapy through VIPS. And our therapist, Kim or Mrs. B, has been amazing. So once she started, we weren't sure what or if Quinn saw at all. We weren't getting any tracking at all. We weren't really seeing anything to show us that she was looking at our faces. And so once Mrs. B started, she brought us all sorts of toys and light up things and things to try to catch Quinn's attention. Somewhere between 3 and 4 months, we saw it. We saw her focusing on toys, and slowly we would see her tracking. You'd have to move very slowly. As our vision therapist says, she has latency, so you just can't move things too quickly. But once we started to realize and understand how to help her see, we started to see an immense improvement. So Mrs. B would bring things like the light box, and she would attach stuff to it, just little homemade things that she would get from the dollar store. We would put Mardi Gras beads on it, or little stickies that Quinn can see and play with. Just all sorts of things that are very creative that I never would have thought of to help her vision, but they have made such an improvement for her. And now we are at a point where we do have a diagnosis of CVI, Cortical Visual Impairment, that is due to her brain injury, which basically means that her eyes are perfectly fine, but that what she's seeing, she's having a hard time kind of computing it to the brain. And what we're told is that her vision can improve immensely, but it'll never be perfect. And so I think right now at this point, we've just seen such a great improvement, and I think I can attribute so much of that to our vision therapy through VIPS. She's tracking. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but she's following us more quickly. She's looking us right in the eye. She's smiling. If I move my head or I move a toy, I don't really have to go super slow anymore. The toys have helped, and at first we had to use a lot of bright light up things to catch her attention, but now we can use kind of duller toys, just black and white or gray, and that seems to catch her attention just fine. The great thing about VIPS is that she gives us the tools to work with Quinn even when she's not here. Early on, we were approved for 1 day of therapy a month, and at first I thought that's not enough, she needs more, but then I started to realize that they come and they give you tools that you need to work with her every day, and as long as you're following your therapist's recommendations, you can see that improvement. I mean, as long as you're working with your baby and as long as you're trusting your therapist, it's just amazing, the amount that she has been able to see in the past year, when originally we thought that she might not see at all. So we are so thankful for VIPS for coming into our life and Quinn's life, and I know just the amount of improvement that we've seen in such a small amount of time. I can't wait to see where we go from there, and I think that this is a program that anybody who's worried about the vision of their child, can definitely benefit from. There's no negatives here. The only thing that you're going to see is improvement and positivity, and our therapist comes in and she's always just so excited about Quinn's progress, and she's got all of this energy and all of these toys, and I think that she just brings so much positivity and really uplifts us and motivates us to keep going. And so Vips has been awesome for us. We're so happy that we have them in our lives.